Last episode, new signings Lautaro Martinez and Christopher Nkunku made their debuts for the club, but it was still a 6 goals in 6 games Patrick Schick continuing to lead our charge towards Premier League and Champions League glory. Today we're getting stuck into plenty of football action as we aim to get all the way to the start of the January transfer window. And of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get on with it. And we're wasting no time getting stuck straight into the action as Marcus Rashford comes to our rescue in the 89th minute to secure a much needed 3 points away at Palace. Carabao Cup glory though continues to evade us. 2 goals from Nkunku and Memphis Depay, not enough, and Chelsea beat us for the 2nd time this season to knock us out of the cup. But a 3-0 drumming of Everton is the perfect way to respond. Lautaro Martinez, Antony and Patrick Schick getting on the score sheet, and perhaps Martinez and Schick are already building up an incredible striking partnership. But what is perhaps the biggest upset of this entire career mode, FK Bodo beat us 3-1 in the Champions League. As you can see on the right, I heavily rotated my team, took out my star striking partnership in Lautaro Martinez and Patrick Schick and replaced them with Depay and Nkunku. Clearly, they cannot find the back of the net, and we succumb to a massive shock 3-1 loss. And to my surprise, it's Lisandro Martinez, the only man to actually get on the score sheet in the game, is the one that's knocking on my door saying he could have contributed more. Trust me, mate, don't blame yourself. You were the best player on the pitch. The return of the strike partnership isn't enough to get us back to winning ways, though. 1-1 against Aston Villa in the Premier League. But eventually, Lautaro Martinez strikes with 2 and Bruno Fernandes finishes the job off, and we get back to winning ways with a 3-0 win at home to Brighton. And after the shock of the century in the Champions League, Patrick Schick comes back to our rescue with a goal in the 69th minute to give us a hard-fought 1-0 win. But again, my decision to remove my strike partnership and inject a little bit of fresh legs up front backfires, as we concede 3 against Newcastle, a goal from Bellingham, and Nkunku, to be fair, still not enough, and we succumb to a 3-2 loss. And I tell you what, I feel like we're relying on a strike partnership more than ever this season. Patrick Schick, of course, still remaining my top goal scorer with 8 goals in 11 games. Martinez has chipped in with 5, all of which have come in the Premier League. He's hit the ground running as I expected him to, but Christopher Nkunku not so much, and as for Depay, well, he's nowhere to be seen. And despite Newcastle ending our unbeaten run, we sit 3rd in the table after 9 games. Chelsea, however, have taken a 4-point lead at the top, and they've set their stall out early. And as for the Champions League, in spite of one of the biggest upsets in Manchester United's history, somehow we still find ourselves top of our group. Up next is West Ham, though, a team that find themselves in a surprising 5th place this season, only a point behind us. And with that in mind, only the strongest 11 will do. De Gea starts in goal, Areo, Varane and Torres will start at the back. You've got Frankie de Jong, Jude Bellingham and Fernandes in the centre of the park, with Rashford out wide on the left and Antony out wide on the right. Of course, Patrick Schick and Lautaro Martinez start up front. Bruno Fernandes into Jude Bellingham. I'm going to try and find a ball out wide to Antony. It's a wonderful ball. First time cross in the box, looking for Martinez. He just can't get his head on it now. I was actually looking for Patrick Schick. Just went over him, almost just glazed the head of Martinez, but Bellingham tries to strike from distance, gets blocked off. Frankie de Jong to try and win it, he does. Martinez now picks it up. We're piling the pressure on early doors here. This has been a fantastic start to the game as Bruno Fernandes goes and gives the ball away just as I say that. Paqueta for West Ham to try and stretch his legs and get away from Frankie de Jong. Does a really good job of it, tries to link a ball over to Cornet. Not the best ball, but somehow after a bit of a missed kick from Varane, wins it back in Cornet now to try and drive into the box, and De Gea forced into his first save of the game. Areo to take the corner for West Ham, puts it right on the edge of the 6-yard box, and De Gea again. What a save. David Moyes can't believe it. Bruno Fernandes, Jude Bellingham now, he's got Antony ahead of him, but instead finds Patrick Schick, who's come deep, gives it back to Bellingham, who strikes with his left. Good save from the goalkeeper. Bruno Fernandes to take our first corner of the game, goes for the edge of the 6-yard box. Antony was inches away from getting his head to it. Bruno Fernandes with a second bite of the cherry, smashes it in into the defender. Rashford with the throw, finds Martinez, who's come short. Martinez to try and whip it back in. Jude Bellingham again was inches away. We just can't seem to get our head on these crosses. We've had 3 huge opportunities. We just can't seem to find the back of the net. Frankie de Jong into Bruno Fernandes, turns the defender really nicely, strikes with his left. What a saving challenge from the defender. Rashford takes it down, whips it back across, and he's just straight offside. Bruno Fernandes into Jude Bellingham. He's got Antony running ahead of him. He finds Antony. Antony switches it onto his left, goes for the finesse. I thought that was just going to nestle in the top corner. Great save. Fernandes with another corner, our second of the game, looking for Martinez. Again, he just cannot seem to get his head on these. It's Rashford once again to whip it back in. This time looking for Patrick Schick. And this time, that man, Patrick Schick, of course, can get his head on it. He has been an absolute sensation. And of course, it is a staple of his goals. A towering header. Powers it past the goalkeeper. A deserved 1-0 lead here. Jude Bellingham goes short to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has got options ahead. Finds Lautaro Martinez, shifts it away from the defender into Frankie Young, who strikes. Another big save from Areola. Bruno Fernandes with another corner, this time looking for Areo, and again we can't get there. Jude Bellingham will pick up the stray ball, and Jude Bellingham will be the man to try and whip it back in. Again looking for Schick. This time Schick is blocked off. Can we try and win it back? No, we can't. Bruno Fernandes coming forward into Lautaro Martinez. I was trying to wait for the run of Bellingham. He was just blocked off. Martinez twisting and turning. Keeps going. Got an option to strike. What a strike, what a save. Bruno Fernandes to take the resulting corner. Looks for the head of Patrick Schick. It's headed away by the defenders. Only out as far as the substitute. And Nkunku Anthony, though, to strike. And it's another huge save from that man, Areola. De Jong to take the corner this time. Looking for the head of Anthony. Can't find it. De Jong will get it back, though. And he will whip it back in with his left. Looking for Pau Torres this time. He can't get to it. West Ham get it clear. Motta for West Ham. Pareo to bring it forward. We've got to remember here that we are only 1-0 up here. We've had opportunities. We haven't taken them. Paqueta to bring the ball forward into Scamacca. What a save from De Gea. Only 12 minutes on the clock here, and West Ham have got a dangerous corner. It's headed away by Jude Bellingham. We are by no means home and dry here. Cornet tries to bring this ball forward. We are under some serious pressure, but Areo steps up, blocks off Scamacca, and Jude Bellingham will just hack it away. Sancho to flick this ball all the way over to Anthony. Oh, he's taken that down beautifully. Anthony to play it across. And Patrick Schick instead went to the near post when I wanted him to stay in the box. Schick will pick it up again though and strikes with his right. Areola has been an absolute wall today. Bruno Fernandes with another corner here, looking for Anthony this time. It will come out to Nkunku. He takes it down nicely. Nkunku to try and look for Pau Torres. Pau Torres was retreating, gives it to Varane. Varane to go all the way out to the right-hand side. Whips the ball in, looks for Nkunku. Only finds the goalkeeper again. But that is it. The referee blows the whistle. That man Patrick Schick with the only goal of the game. Areola was an absolute monster at the back. But we get the job done, and at full time, it's 1-0 United. And I'm hoping that win will give us encouragement to get back on a winning run, but unfortunately, my hope is dashed immediately as we're held to a 2-2 draw at home to Sporting Lisbon. Anthony and Areo getting on the score sheet. And I don't know what it is about this Champions League group, but we are making serious hard work of it. However, it's time to travel over to a struggling Arsenal team in 8th place, and it is time to add even more woes to their struggles as we beat them 2-1 away from home with Lautaro Martinez and Anthony getting on the score sheet once again. We put Bournemouth to the sword courtesy of another 2 Anthony goals. He's been on fire as well this season. And Bruno Fernandes gives us a late 86th minute goal against Villarreal for what could be an absolutely massive win in the Champions League. Another 2 Anthony goals and a late goal from Christian Eriksen is enough to give us a hard 3-1 win away at Leicester. An incredible run of results gives me Manager of the Month for November. 4 games, 4 wins, and I tell you what, I should sim games more often. And it's point proven at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a goal from Nkunku and a late one from Areo, giving us another 2-1 win. And clearly I'm not the only one seeing the benefits of simming games, as Anthony, the man who's been on fire so far this season, picks up Player of the Month for November as well. And it's Marcus Rashford, Anthony once again, and Bruno Fernandes on the score sheet this time, as we beat Middlesbrough at Old Trafford 3-0. And for the first time in my career mode history, we sit top of the table in the Premier League. 15 games played, 37 points on the board. Premier League title glory is well and truly on the cards. However, the Champions League is where things get a little bit more interesting. As you can see, we are top of the group, and because Sporting Lisbon and Villarreal play each other next, we will qualify, but it is going to be a fight to qualify at the top of the table, and it is time now to get revenge on FK Bodo. Some fatigue creeping into the camp means I've had to make some changes to my starting 11, but De Gea, Varane, Areo and Torres all keep their places at the back. De Jong, Bellingham and Declan Rice start in midfield. Sancho starts on the left. Alanga will start on the right. And Memphis Depay and Nkunku will start up front. 5 minutes in and FK Bodo have got the first corner of their game, and they're going to put this to the edge of the 6-yard box. And the striker, I don't even know who it was, just tried to loop it over De Gea. A sneaky header. De Gea was onto it though. Jude Bellingham. I'm going to try and whip a beautiful ball into the path of Sancho. He's just held his run up. Why has he held his run up? He could have easily got there ahead of the defender. Instead he does, and they can get away, and they can plant a ball, a beautiful ball of their own right across the top of my defence, and it was De Jong who tried to come across, didn't put a good enough challenge in, they flick it back in. It's Arreo just to get his head on it. Anywhere will do at the moment. What a start for them. Sol back in again. It's Fet now to try and bring it forward. The Norwegian outfit have been absolutely sensational so far in this game. No one putting a challenge in on him. Arreo just in the nick of time, just gets it away, but he's under pressure here. And my word, he just clears it in time. We're all over the shop at the moment. Sancho into Declan Rice. Declan Rice gives it back to Sancho. That wasn't exactly the ball I was looking for. Sancho will go back into Declan Rice. A little bit of the momentum is cut out of this attack. Memphis Depay will pick it up though into De Jong. De Jong to strike. De Jong to put us 1-0 up here. But I think, yes he has, just straight offside. De Jong into Declan Rice. Declan Rice has got Sancho up ahead. It's a wonderful ball. Sancho with a first time ball across. And it just goes over the bar. Varane, he's under so much pressure here. They are pressing us so high up the pitch, and I'm really starting to get an understanding as to why they managed to pull off an upset on us earlier on in the episode. And they've pressed us and they've won the ball back really high up here. It's Berg again into Soltes. It's off the post. And De Gea collects, luckily enough for me, and somehow we get away with one there. FK Bodo have got a corner here inside the opening part of the second half, and they whip it into the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away. If anyone is going to look to score here, it is definitely going to be them. And they've managed to wrangle away from Jadon Sancho. Beautiful footwork there. It's Berg into Fet, into, no idea, Espiord. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Arreo gives it away though. They've got it back again. They still got it into the box. Beautiful play. And it's Grombeck who gives them a 1-0 lead here. What on earth is happening? We just can't seem to beat this team. Well, they've just played around beautifully on the edge of the penalty area, managed to work their way inside and right on the 6-yard box, get in front of my defence, and they power it past De Gea. And I tell you what, I am really starting to understand why they beat us earlier on. It's 1-0. Well, 1-0 down with only 25 minutes left, and I'm going to have to call in the cavalry. Laturo, Martinez, Schick and Anthony all on. We've got to try and find a goal here. Vuka to bring it on the left-hand side. Goes past Varane like he's not even there. Tried to get in the box. Arreo was there just in the nick of time. He gives it to Frankie de Jong. We can try and counter-attack here. No, we can't. It's blocked off by Larson. De Jong somehow manages to keep hold of the ball, and that is a beautiful pass into Sancho. First time ball in looking for Schick. Only found the goalkeeper. Espiord to bring it forward. No one challenging him. My defender's just backing off. And Vuka drives into the box. Varane is there with a challenge though. They're looking for a second here. Ball down the line into the path of Bellingham. Bellingham can stretch his legs now as he's got space ahead of him to try and run into. He continues his run. I'm going to look to try and find a ball across, looking for Martinez with the head. It rebounds off the defender. The ball is bouncing around. Declan Rice can't get there. He manages to win it, and in the end the goalkeeper just about manages to dive on the ball to stop another attack. Declan Rice into Laturo Martinez. Martinez looks for Patrick Schick. He turns. Patrick Schick strikes. And Patrick Schick levels it up here. An absolute thunderbolt from the Czech man. What a fantastic strike. And of course it is that man, Patrick Schick, our top goal scorer this season, who comes to our rescue once again. Beautiful turn by Laturo Martinez. Even better turn by Patrick Schick. And he let fly there from the edge of the penalty area. Gave the keeper absolutely no chance. And fortunately enough, we managed to level it up here at Old Trafford. Solbakken on the right-hand side now. FK Bodo are trying to get a goal back here. They're trying to take back their lead. And they continue to drive forward. Berg into Fet. Fet looking for options. Easily goes past De Jong. It's Espiord. Lovely turn away. Goes for a finesse. And it's just inches wide. I tell you what, I never thought this would happen. Hanging on by a thread here against a Norwegian team at Old Trafford. But we are just about managing to. The referee blows the whistle. We do not manage to get revenge on FK Bodo. Somehow they managed to stop us from beating them. They beat us the first time we played them. They've managed to secure a draw the second time. And now we've got to wait to see what the result is in the other game and to see whether or not we've been able to top the group. And while super sub Patrick Schick was securing an equaliser, Sporting Lisbon and Villarreal were finishing off with a 1-1 draw, meaning that it is us and Sporting Lisbon that will proceed to the next round, the knockout rounds of the Champions League, and we will go there top of the group. But we're going to finish this episode off with a massive 2-1 win against our local rival City. Follow it up with another 2-1 win, this time against Nottingham Forest. We go to QPR and beat them 2-1 as well. and we finish off with a huge 4-1 beating of Southampton. And not only do those results lead us nicely on to the start of the January transfer window, they also help us open up a mammoth 8-point lead at the top of the table. Halfway through the season, we lead the way, and the Premier League title is ours to lose. And with 251 million still left in the transfer budget, do I blow it all on some new players, or do I keep the faith and the trust in my existing squad and hope they can lead me to Premier League glory? That is it for today's episode. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.